Hi, so I'm just going to do a quick tutorial of how to put the foam box kit together. First of all, you need to print it, obviously. You will have these 4 main parts of the foam box. That's what we're going to need first. Then you'll have a couple of sheets of accessories, the background paper if you want to use it in a scrapbook or a journal, and the hinge piece. For now, you can put the accessories aside. We're just going to focus on cutting out the main foam box pieces and the hinge. Don't worry about the accessories, you can do that a bit later. Alright, so we'll do that first and then we'll move on to step 2. Okay, so now we've cut them out, we have our 4 main foam box pieces and the hinge piece. So for step 2, the first thing we're going to do is score and fold the hinge piece down the fold line. I'm going to go slightly to one side. I'm going to fold it. Okay, so now we have that folded. It doesn't matter if you haven't cut it straight like I haven't, it's not going to be seen. Okay, so now we're going to take the front piece and the front interior piece, which are these 2. We're going to turn over our main front piece. And then on here, we're going to put some glue, and we're basically going to stick it along the straight edge. Don't know if you can see that because I'm on a white table, but on the straight left-hand side edge of the front of the foam box, so that it ends up like this. Okay. I'm just going to use some roller glue. Okay, and then we're going to line it up carefully along that straight edge. And we're just going to stick it down. Okay, so now you've got these 2 bits stuck together with the hinge tucked inside just slightly. Okay. So then what we're going to do next is put this piece, the interior of the front, on the top. The trickiest part of this is lining it up. So we're just going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to glue around the edges of this interior piece. I mean, obviously you can use any glue. I'm just using this for speed and to keep it mess free for the video. Okay, so now we're just going to stick it on top. Going to line it up as best we can. Doesn't have to be perfect, we can trim it. And then we're going to just flatten that down, smooth it down, stick it together, and there we have the front of the post box. Now mine doesn't match up exactly because I've done it a little bit wrong, so what I'm going to do is just trim it with some scissors along the edge. Carefully. Okay, I think everywhere else looks good. If you do have some lines, we'll worry about those in a minute. If you do have some white bits showing, we'll worry about those in a minute. So now we're basically going to do exactly the same thing, but with the back pieces. Okay, so first I'm going to put some glue on the back of the hinge, and then I'm going to stick this on like this. I find it easier to do it with it flat like this, with the hinge folded over, because then you can line it up with the front. The problem is if you do it like this, you've then got to try and make sure it's in the same position. So first of all, we'll put some glue. Then we're going to put this on the top. Just going to put it over here so I can see. Okay, so I've lined it up. I'm going to smooth it down. Now we have that bit stuck on and we've got an opening foam box. Okay, so the next part, this is the trickiest part, is getting the interior piece on top of the back, because obviously this does overlap slightly to give it that shape. So what we're going to do is just lift it up a little bit when we stick it down. So I'm going to glue all the way around the edge, then I'm going to line this piece up and then stick it down. Okay, obviously you don't need to rush when you do this, take your time. Just going to make sure what I'm going to do is on that inside edge, I'm just going to put it on here. Make sure they don't get missed. Right, so now the trickiest part is lining this piece up. I think we're good. Okay, so we're going to smooth that down, close the front, squash it down. Okay, so now we have our foam box. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too complicated for you. We do have very slight, obviously we've got a little white edge down the middle, maybe a few little edges around the top, and I know a lot of people like to use things like distress ink. I don't have a red one, and actually sometimes I prefer to use just simple colouring pencils. So this one's close enough. I'm going to use colouring pencils. I've also got this one so I can mix the two together if I need to get the right colour. I mean, I've got it fairly well lined up, so I'm just going to put that down the middle, a little bit more, a bit of the darker red just to match it in. Okay, and maybe just going to find a piece of paper, just going to run it along the edge there where I've got a tiny little bit of white but not enough to warrant cutting. Any other edges that you feel like doing? Just so those little overlap and the edges aren't quite so noticeable. Any more? I think we've got them all. There's a tiny bit here at the bottom. I'm just going to take a brown, blend that in rather than cut that off. Same on the inside there, I can just see it peeking through. So yeah, once you're happy with that, you've finished the post box. Well, the main part of it anyway. And now you get to do the fun part, you get to decorate it. Basically, for the next part, you just need to bring back all of your accessory pieces from before and cut them out. And then you get to do the fun part of sticking them all on. So I'm just going to cut mine and then I'll be back. Okay, so now that you've actually built your foam box, the last bit is just to decorate it, which is the fun part. So I'm going to start with the front. I've cut out these pieces. Obviously there are loads of other pieces you can use, so it's up to you which bits you cut out, which pieces you use, where you place them, entirely up to you. So I'm just going to move these out of the way and we're going to start with the front. I'm going to take this piece of grass and I'm going to stick it to the bottom. Just going to place it where I want it and stick it down. Next piece is going to be this tiny little squirrel. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and put some stuff on. enjoy. Okay, so there's my front of the phone box. So I'm going to open it up now and do the inside. I love some of the details that I've made with these kits. I especially love the little signs and things like that, like this one for example. I think they really make it look realistic and fun. Okay, right, when we come on to do the interior, this main piece here, we're going to use this piece as a pocket. So all I'm going to do is cut along this line here with a knife. Excuse the state of my knife. You could use a ruler. I don't have one to hand, so I'm just going to have a go at doing it myself. Obviously don't cut all the way to the edges so you can have a little opening. And when you stick it, you're only going to put glue at the top and at the bottom. You can glue the sides if you like, but the top and the bottom should hold it still. And it'll allow you to put things inside. I'll place it here. And then we're going to take a piece to show you. Like if you lift the flap, you can put things inside. There's a whole page of notes and things like that to include in there. For now, we're going to take that out and continue to decorate. There are two choices of phones. I've gone for this old-fashioned style phone this time. But there's a slightly more modern version, which are more commonly seen in phone boxes today, not that they really are used. This gorgeous cat on. Somebody's hat they left behind. And a cup of coffee. So that's it really. I'm just going to put this back into the slot to show you this one as well. And there we have it, your completed phone box. I hope you have lots of fun making it. Let me know if you've got any questions or any problems. I'm happy to answer anything. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.